what you can do with the paintbrush, I'll just show you here. If you've got your paintbrush down here like that, you just take it down there and you kind of wiggle it back and forth, just barely, and you'll get in between the nook and cranny. And see, sometimes I've got to cut in that way, and then I may have to turn my brush around that way and go both directions, because one way is not going to cover all of your bumps on your spray texture, okay? And then, but when you go the other way, you've got a little bit of extra paint on here, plus you got some extra paint on the bumps of the spray texture, and lots of them will disappear. And then I'll go back this way and maybe get the rest. And if I get one or two stubborn, yeah, that's the word, stubborn ones, I just sit there like that, and wiggle it, and I can get it. And yeah, that's a good way to do it. And okay, that's all I kind of wanted to show you. I'll show you what everything looks like tomorrow. I'm staying here late because the guys are going to be here with the tack strip, the carpet pad. They're going to install that tomorrow, and I really don't want to be in here having to paint. But he assured me, he said, I'm just going to put the tack strip down tomorrow and the carpet pad. I'm not going to install any carpet. Well, if that's the case, I could paint the rest of the stuff over the carpet pad after they leave. But then that's tomorrow night. Then I've got to stay here after they get done. If they stay here till 5 o'clock, I'm still here for a couple hours. So as it is, I just soon get it done now and be done with it. And especially, you know, sometimes guys tell you one thing and they do something else. He's planning on just himself and his son coming out here tomorrow. But if a couple of his guys are done at another job site, he might say, hey, what the heck, let's bring the carpet out there, let's do the tack strip, the carpet pad, and let's cut all the carpet, let's put the carpet in. I think we can probably get all done with everything because it's just a small condo, and let's do it. And if he brings 4 guys here, 5 guys here tomorrow, I'm screwed if I don't have the rest of this stuff painted. And then he's like, well, sorry, I didn't want to work over the weekend, and I can't really wait until Monday because I got to start another little project I promised somebody on Monday. And so I brought the guys. I hope it's not going to mess you up. You know, I mean, yeah, worst case scenario, I put craft paper down and then I drag that along with me to do that room and the closet. And then I'd have to bring the craft paper and put it along there, and then be careful when I'm moving the paint brushes and the paint tray and all that kind of stuff. And incidentally, and so I really don't want to mess with that tomorrow. I'm just as satisfied working late tonight knowing that, hey, I don't have to do a whole lot of painting tomorrow, and maybe I can sleep in, or even if I don't sleep in, I can kind of take it easy tomorrow, make sure the guys get here, get them all set up, go off to breakfast, whatever. And here's the paint pan that I ended up using to cut in the bottom section of the wall down to the top of the baseboard. And you know, it worked out really good. Well, see, that's not the paint that I use that for the white. You see, I just use those throwaway paint trays. Here's the one that I used. See? And I just took that out and I let it set over there, and that's skinning up. I'm going to end up now reusing that one. I'm just going to take this one out and let it dry over here. You know, I could just pull this one out. Oh, look at that. It's got a little hole in it right there. Right there, there's a hole in it. So I'm glad there was another piece in there. See, this one's ready to be thrown away. Look, there was a little hole in that one because it leaked down to there. And this next one, I was trying to take the paint out and I ripped it And see, this one's got a hole in it. See there? Look at that. So those two are ready to be thrown away in reality. And you know, I've got some extra trays, no biggie. And next time I'm at the store, maybe I'll get another 5-pack or something. But I'm just gonna leave these off to the side and let them dry. You know, then I can put my other paint tray in here. And these work really good. This thing's getting kind of heavy because I've got probably 10 layers of paint in here so far. Okay, those work really good for using to cut in at the tops of the baseboard and around the door frames and stuff because I can see where the paint is and so I can just dip just a little bit and then wipe it off here. You know, and then I just push this along with me and drag it along with my knee pad, and I just go and go and go. I'm not going to show you how to paint the bottom of the walls up to the baseboard tonight or anything, but you know, now that the guys are done with the flooring, the laminate flooring downstairs, none of that stuff has been painted yet, and you know, next week after they're done installing the carpets and stuff, I'm going to be going downstairs and I'm going to cut some craft paper, and then I'm going to put that along on the floor, on the vinyl laminate floor planking. That's looking sharp, man. And so the only light I got in here is this right up here, but you'll see at the bottom. It still needs to be painted, see? And up at the top, next to the ceiling, that still has to be cut in and painted, the tops of the doors. Well, see, these frames still have to be painted, the door frames still have to be painted, and all that kind of stuff. But see this little section of wall, I ended up painting that earlier, and that way if I got any of this paint on the door casings, I just wiped it off with a sponge. See how, look how close that one is. But I got it. It looks pretty good. And so I've got to do all this stuff down here over the new flooring. But thank goodness the flooring downstairs is not carpet, you know, or I'd be in a world of hurt, right? And I even have to cut in. I even have to paint the baseboards. See, I didn't get a chance to do any of that. I mainly wanted to focus and concentrate on painting everything up there. And say down here, I'm going to end up putting that quarter round trim down there, probably 5/8, half inch or 5/8 quarter round trim. So when and that'll take up the gap. That'll take up the gap at the bottom. And what I'm going to do is when I cut the paint in, I don't have to really go flush perfect to the bottom. As long as I'm within a 1/4 inch or something like that, the quarter round is going to cover that. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have to be perfect. And plus, if I get just a couple little streaks on the floor, if it's within a half inch of the wall, I don't have to wipe it off. But you know, if I get some on the floor, I'll have a bucket and a sponge and I can wipe it off and stuff. I like to keep it nice and clean anyways. So it's going to be a lot easier down here. And when I get down here and have more time after these guys are out of here, I'll show you how to paint a door frame, a door casing and stuff, and get one whole one done, so you realize, you know, how long something like that's going to take and how to start it and stop it and be careful on it, and as well as painting the baseboards and stuff. Okay, so enough of that. I wasn't even going to make this little video clip, but I thought, hey, why not? I'm here for another couple hours, so I made a 10-minute video here, and so now I still have to work a couple more hours. So hey, it's for the benefit for you. So I'm hoping that you're learning stuff and you're watching the videos. Hey, if you haven't watched this whole video series on this condo renovation, you might want to start from the beginning so that you can see all the different things that I had to do in here to get up to this point and beyond. Of course, I'm going to make more videos until all of this stuff is done. So I'll show you what the quarter round looks like when it's done. I'll even show you how to install some of that along the way. And I'll show you what the carpet looks like when they're done. I'll show you how they install the carpet tack strip, how they install the carpet pad over a wood floor. They're going to use probably a hammer tacker to attach that, because you want the joints nice and straight and tight together. You don't want to just set them down there and then think, oh, they're not going to move as you bring in the carpet. It never works. Okay, so I'll show you that, and hopefully I'll have time to show you how they use a knee kicker, and I don't know if they're going to use a long stretcher to stretch the carpet from end to end in this particular room. And they've got stairs to do, so I'll show you how they install the stair carpet and how they attach that, because there's certain ways. And if you keep watching, hey, I always say it, the more you watch on my channel, the more you learn. In fact, I'm just an average Joe. So if I show you something on a video, I think you can then be able to do it. I won't show you anything I think you can't do. That goes for the majority of videos that I make, because hey, if I can do it, you can do it. Well, that's all I have for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.